It's MJ. How are you? I want to talk about mass confusion really is coming up as a result of systematic corruption being exposed. And how, so something I'm aware of in the collective is that all of this sort of polarity or this extreme is is being acted out. And the polarity extreme is ultimately about creating enough pressure to, you could say, bring about mass spiritual awakening, mass spiritual understanding of love and compassion. So it's really beautiful. To get us there into that loving vibration and that compassion, as beings, we have to witness, we must bear witness to the veils, which are an aspect of the human condition perceiving through fear, which is a lower vibrational frequency. Now, my understanding is that we live in an infinite and eternal universe, an ever expanding, an ebbing and flowing and contracting and expanding universe. And we are aspects of that eternal expansion and contraction. And something that I'm increasingly aware of is, as infinite beings, we have different portals of existences, or you could say different elements of our dimensional reality where we operate on different frequencies. So we can love and accept that for a long time there have been beings who choose to operate on a certain frequency, and that's okay. However, because there's more and more beings like myself descending to this earth realm, we're raising human consciousness. So the beings who choose to operate on that lower frequency of fear, control, and power without love, essentially, they're just being asked to leave. And it's vibrational. So it's the fact that the more light and love we embody as beings on this planet, and indeed the being of the planet herself, so Earth herself is also increasing her frequency. So it's just physics, it's the laws of the universe that if this being that we call Earth is rising her frequency, then the beings who don't rise with her, the beings who choose to live in that, exactly, that's the dissolution of the old world, of the old paradigm. That fearful reality disappears. It goes away because the human consciousness collective is focusing on the new, focusing on the love, focusing on, which is why someone like me can see companies cleaning up the oceans and see new, more and more eco-villages and more intentional stuff. And simultaneously, as a being rising in love, I'm also witnessing the dissolution. I'm witnessing my love being able to see through the corruption and see through people's manipulative tactics, right? In my own life. So as I can see that and accept it for what it is, and then let go of those energies, because I no longer want to buy into them. I no longer want to believe them. I don't want to believe people are out to get us. At the same time, I'm riding out or rising above my naivety of making excuses for beings and saying, I accept you as a divine eternal creator. However, I choose to operate on this frequency, not that frequency, and I believe the earth is going in this direction. So I need to let you go now. And I need to let you go and operate in that fear control way wherever you like. But as beings of love and light, we're not going to tolerate those games, those insidious games anymore, because, well, you could say it's a divine plan, or it's just the way of the earth. The earth now is sort of not tolerating that. That's why we're getting the red flags on every area, environmental, economical, political. It's because the earth is just like, no, stop being ridiculous. Stop thinking that you're better than me and fracking me and hurting me and polluting my oceans, you silly, silly humans. Basically fuck off, or let's get along. Let's try to love each other. And it's kind of like that, but in a really loving way. And you know, that's something I always want to approach all this stuff from a really loving and unconditional and non-judgmental place. Like, I don't have hatred in my heart for beings who operate on that level. I'm just done with, I guess, trying to fix or thinking there's something wrong, or even really just paying any attention to that energy. You know, if people judge, if people do that, that's their business. I'm gonna let that go. But the intuition has become more refined and more clear about when that is going on. When someone's not fully clear, you can just feel it, see it. It's obvious to me. So this is all, again, part of the rising mass confusion. So we're gonna the emotionality of our beingness is, thanks, Tech Victor, nice one, dude. Yeah, so our emotionality is going to increase, and we're seeing it. We're seeing it off the back of what's going on in America. Children, teenagers are now just saying enough. And the beauty is that they've got it. They know, and they're not going to stop. It's kind of like me. That's what I mean about this energy shift that a lot of us who are very much burning desire, we're only here on a mission to create a new world. We're now locking in. We're anchoring in to create, to manifest, to live the new. So be aware that more and more in the mainstream mass of humanity, there is an increased sense of confusion. And I would add to the confusion anger, rage, frustration, shock, panic, because when those veils start to get lifted and you start to peer in and see the systematic corruption and how the whole world that we've been taught to believe in is corrupted by the fearful paradigm of control and domination. So why we need a simultaneous mass spiritual awakening. So the mass spiritual awakening is actually helping to balance out the kind of crumbling of the old system as it implodes, or just, yeah, kind of, I see it as like we've uprooted it. So the light love has kind of gone in and anchored the pillars and the foundations down, and the instability of the old way is just clear as day. So it's literally kind of crumbling, which it kind of, to me, makes perfect sense when you look at a man like Donald Trump being the president of the United States. The game is up, you know? The game is up. The majority of humans are like, no, we're not. This is ridiculousness, right? So we are living in these very critical times where the ownership, the self-responsibility, the mass spiritual awakening is just spontaneously happening across the human collective, because it's the only way for us to stay grounded and balanced as the system continues to kind of spin out of control and collapse. And we just want to love. That's the point of doing all this love work, is that everyone is forgiven, because all of us are blind until we are not. And we continue to unmask ourselves. So to me, it's always about healing what needs to be healed, and then looking at all of the past, including systems and witch hunts and people lying to us, and looking at all of those past pain creations, even torture and, like, you know, craziness. When we can look at all of that as past pain and say, I forgive myself for creating that, and I'm going to integrate that, and I'm going to let it go, and I'm going to let it be stored away in the infinite memory bank of the universe, and just move forward. Let it go. Be done. I can sometimes feel like I want that energy off, and I can see it drifting out of my auric field. I can see it drifting out of my energy field and downloading higher light, downloading higher vibrations. And this is the thing, you guys, it is continuous, isn't it? I'm talking to Tech Victor. You know, it's a continuous, that's part of like why this is so cool and exciting, is that like each day, each moment, each little insight, each little piece, you're just like, and then it amplifies your manifestation power, because you believe more and more and more, you know more and more and more, and then you just like lock in, you're like, I am the fucking creator of life. And then that really, at that point, other people's judgments and beliefs and don't really affect you, because you're just in your bubble. Okay, thanks for joining me this morning. I hope you're well wherever you are in the world. I'm trying to think, are you in the US? Are you in New York? Oh no, I think that's third eye. Anyway, have a wonderful day. Lovely to see you, and I hope that was useful to you in some way. I believe you're an awakened being who also aligns with the fact that we're building a new world and letting go of the old one. because it's hurting us. It's not good for us anymore. It was good. Yeah, US. I'd figured as much. Have a wicked, wicked day. I'll see you real soon. Bye.